Whether it's a fever, rash, or swollen glands, kids are always getting sick. But what if these were signs of something much more serious? Something so serious that it could cause a heart attack in a 1-year-old. Well, our next guest, actress Sarah Chalke, played a doctor in a hit series, Scrubs. But her true passion and drive for medicine actually came when her son was diagnosed with Kawasaki disease.
One day I came home and Charlie had this rash on his face unlike anything I'd ever seen before. And then from there, the next few days, he just got so sick. By the 4th day, he was pretty listless and limp in my arms. Our son was misdiagnosed for 10 days, and then on day 10, we were able to see Dr. Mason, who, for me, Charlie's hero.
Charlie presented with many of the symptoms and signs of Kawasaki disease. But Kawasaki disease can be a difficult disease to diagnose because of its similarity to other illnesses. The symptoms include fever, redness of the eyes, redness and inflammation of the lips and mouth, and a characteristic peeling. And it can lead to heart attacks in young children. We like to treat them within 10 days of onset of the fever because that helps prevent the coronary artery changes from occurring.
It wasn't something that I initially had thought I would speak publicly about, but I really felt like I needed to do something right away to raise awareness because it's something where you have this very short window to get the treatment to save their heart.
Can I see your surgical glove? This was Charlie's favorite thing to do. He would always blow it off and make him do it. All right.
I would say the one thing I want parents to know is don't be afraid to get a second opinion, a third opinion, and fight for your kid.
Please welcome actress and Kawasaki advocate Sarah Chalke to our show.
What's up, Doc?
Sarah, good to have you. Had you ever heard of Kawasaki before your son?
No, I had never heard of Kawasaki disease, and that is what has amazed me so much since speaking about it and meeting all of these parents. I mean, I had actually never met anyone who'd had Kawasaki disease before speaking at the fundraiser for the Kawasaki Foundation a year ago, and then I was in a room full of parents whose children had had it, and it was really meeting those parents and hearing their stories and meeting children who had coronary aneurysms and talking to parents whose children had a heart attack that made me decide to speak about it publicly.
When you took your son in, did they know immediately that this was Kawasaki?
No, unfortunately, we were misdiagnosed, and that is the common KD experience. And he was just so sick, and there was this website, kdfoundation.org, and it so clearly listed all of the symptoms, and Charlie had all of them. And so it just kind of gave us the confidence to keep fighting to see a specialist. And so we got to see Dr. Mason on day 10, and by the time we saw him, a lot of Charlie's visual symptoms had actually started to subside and go away. And we'd taken pictures and videos of him at his sickest just because I just had my phone out and I wanted to send them up to our families in Canada and say, like, he just is so sick. He's just sicker than sick. Like, this can't be scarlet fever or this or that, because we were sort of having a different diagnosis every day. And so by the time we got to Dr. Mason, I showed him the photographs and he looked through them all and heard our story. And then he said, "A picture's worth 1,000 words. Thank God you took them. I am diagnosing him off of these pictures."